This is a Hot Pie Media original.
This podcast is brought to you guys by BetterHelp.com. Is there something interfering with your happiness or is preventing you from achieving your goals? Well, BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. You can start communicating in under 48 hours. It's not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It's professional therapy done securely online. There is a broad range of expertise available, which may not be locally available in many areas. The service is available for clients worldwide. You can log into your account anytime and send a message to your therapist, and you'll get a timely, thoughtful response. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions, so you don't ever have to go into that uncomfortable waiting room as you do with traditional therapy. BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so they make it easy and free to change therapists if needed. It's more affordable than traditional offline therapy, and financial aid is available. BetterHelp wants you to start living happier today. Visit betterhelp.com/gray. That's betterhelp.com/gray and join the over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. In fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp that they're recruiting additional therapists in all 50 states. Special offer for all gray area listeners. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/gray, GRAY. Number 4 for me, the Christmas tree fell on Aunt Barbara. That I don't know if that's happened in your family or in anybody else's family, but I mean, there was a year where a Christmas tree fell on a family member, and that shit was hilarious. That shit was hilarious.
Was it like a big tree?
Yeah, like a standard like 8-foot fake tree or whatever, like up to the ceiling. And Aunt Barbara's known for being lit. Here's the funny thing. Aunt Barbara has been trying to get me to talk about her on stage for years, and she's never made it into my set. But here we are on the Christmas edition of the Gray Area, and we're talking about Aunt Barbara being drunk in the 90s and getting a little bit too close to the Christmas tree. Media.
Stupid dumb beat made by G Bro.
Welcome to the Gray Area. Here's your host, Aaron Cheatham.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Gray Area Podcast. I am your host, Aaron Cheatham, and happy holidays, everybody. It is here. Here we are. It is the most wonderful time of the year. So they say, Merry Christmas, happy holidays to you all. For this week, with it being the holidays, we decided, and when I say we, I mean I, and when I say I mean me and G, decided we would go over, we would celebrate the season by running through some of our favorite Christmas memories or gifts. Now, Christmas means a lot of things to a lot of people, and if you're one of those people that are having difficulties this time of year, whether it be because of loss of a family member or for whatever reason, there's a lot of people that have difficulties this time of year. Remember, there is help out there. You're not alone. We are sponsored by BetterHelp.com, so definitely check them out if you're feeling any type of way. But outside of that, side note, if you do have problems this time of year, because it could be anything. Like, my next door neighbors, their daughter, she's like 7, but the theory is she's going to hate Thanksgiving when she grows up because every year around Thanksgiving, she gets sick. Like this Thanksgiving, she had a stomach virus. Last year, she had something else. So, there could be any number of reasons why this may not be your most favorite time of the year. But we're here to put a smile on your face right here at the Gray Area Podcast. I'm a list guy. I love lists. That's the thing. I make a lot of lists. I like doing lists. And this is our list of our top 5 Christmas gifts or memories. All right. For the first time ever, this is the biggest Christmas gift I can give you guys. For the first time ever, you're actually going to be able to hear my producer G's voice. G, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Did you hear that, guys? Did you hear that? You hear them sultry tones? G is here for your holiday entertainment. G is here. G, I'm actually glad that you got a microphone back there and they can actually hear you for once. I'm gonna start us off, G.
Okay.
So this is a celebration. Top 5 Christmas gifts or whatnot. Celebrate with us, everybody. Number 5 for me. Video games. And I just said video games in general because it seemed like every year after a certain age, I was getting video games or like a system. So I just kind of lumped them all together because I'm a gamer. I love playing games. And it goes all the way back to me and my dad playing games together when I was real young. So my whole entire life, I was playing video games on an Apple Commodore computer back in 1980 something. Right, I've been playing games for a long time. There was a game called 4th and Inches. It was a computer game. You can make a team. You made a bunch of different football teams and picked out the color schemes and everything. You could put names on all of them. And as like an element, like maybe first grade, I'm playing this game on a computer and making my own teams and creating my own league and all that stuff. So throughout my life, I've received a ton of video games. So just all lumped in one because of the joy and the lifestyle that they brought me. Video games are number 5 for me on my greatest Christmas gifts of all time. What you got for number 5, G?
For number 5, I have a moment.
Okay.
I have video games on my list as well because I'm a big gamer. So that's we'll get into that later. But number 5, it's my first Christmas back from college. For me, that was my first time like traveling alone during that holiday. So I was in Pittsburgh and my family's from New York City. So I took the Amtrak back and having to be on that train for 8 hours with all the crying kids and all the families traveling across Pennsylvania into New York. It was terrible. I don't know if I've had a worse experience in my life since.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. I just went with positive things because I can definitely slide some shit in there. I can definitely slide some shit in there for sure.
This gets positive, I promise.
Okay. Well, in that vein, I'm gonna switch up my list a little bit. Number 4 for me, the Christmas tree fell on Aunt Barbara. That I don't know if that's happened in your family or in anybody else's family, but I mean, there was a year where a Christmas tree fell on a family member, and that shit was hilarious. That shit was hilarious.
Was it like a big tree?
Like a standard like 8-foot fake tree or whatever, like up to the ceiling. And Aunt Barbara's known for being lit. Here's the funny thing. Aunt Barbara has been trying to get me to talk about her on stage for years, and she's never made it into my set. But here we are on the Christmas edition of The Gray Area, and we're talking about Aunt Barbara being drunk in the 90s and getting a little bit too close to the Christmas tree. And I remember this moment because I was in we were getting ready to go somewhere, and I was in the laundry room and I was ironing my clothes, and I just hear screaming coming from the den, and oh shit, the tree's on Barbara. And I look out and I see arms from under the tree. Get the tree up. Andrew, James, help get the tree. Get her up. The tree's on her. I mean, it's a fake tree, so it's not like it's killing her. But nonetheless, the thought, or actually the visual of a grown-ass woman under a tree.
Like the tree was like an Acme product.
Yes. And then, of course, like my granny's in the background, can't take this bitch nowhere. Shit, she always fucked up in here. That was when I realized my family was a little bit, had far more characters in it than I thought. I was like, oh, okay, this shit is wild. Because that was actually like one of my first Christmases with my family because we were in the Philippines prior to that. So we had and in the Philippines, nobody came over for Christmas and we didn't come home for Christmas. So this is like maybe our first or second Christmas in Mississippi. So I'm still like, I know my family, but I don't know my family, and it's like, okay, y'all cats are wild. Y'all cats are real wild. Okay. Barbara's under the fucking tree. Let's see what next year brings. What you got for number 4?
For number 4, it's a specific video game one for me. It's the Nintendo GameCube for me.
Okay. Why the
Yeah.
Cube?
So the Cube was the first time that I like sat down and showed my parents the video games I was playing, because they've always known I was a gamer. Like I was playing PC games since I was like 5.
Yeah.
So it was my first time sitting down, and my dad sitting next to me, and he's like, "What's going on here?" You know. And back then there was like pretty good graphics, right? For
Yeah.
GameCube. So it was my first time like handing him a controller, and it was like Mario Kart Double Dash or something, and it was just like a good bonding moment. So it was kind of that. So I always attribute it to like Christmas and like playing video games with my parents for like the first time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't miss the GameCube,
Mhm.
but like the GameCube kind of fell in for me in a spot where I was like in between systems,
Mhm.
and I got a cube, and or actually I had moved back to my mom's to help her out a little bit, and she had a GameCube, and then I just kind of took it, right? Because you're not really using this,
Yeah.
but like the only thing she had on there was she had Donkey Kongo, which was like the one with the drums.
Mhm, mhm.
And, you know, like that was the predecessor to Guitar Hero and everything, where, you know, clap.
Yep.
So I played that. And somehow or another, I got my hands on a copy of Prince of Persia.
Okay.
And I played the crap out of Prince of Persia on the GameCube. So, and that's pretty much all I've ever done on GameCube is play Donkey Kongo. And which I actually have that GameCube with Donkey Kongo and 2 sets of drums at the house right now.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. And I
Nice.
think I probably still have the Prince of Persia game somewhere, but that's all I've ever played on there. Let's see, number three for me was 112 and Blackstreet CDs. Those were the first 2 CDs I ever got, like for Christmas.
Mm.
And prior to that, like I had got some cassette tapes. Like I was, you know, into cassette tapes and shit. But when I got my first CDs, that was a game changer for me. Like I could stop like sneaking in the living room and grabbing my mom's CDs and trying to listen to them or whatever. Like I had my own actual music that belonged to me. These are my CDs. And it was the first 112 album, and it was the Blackstreet album with No Diggity on it.
Okay.
And I jammed those hard, man. Like I mean, you couldn't tell me shit. I didn't have to. It was so long gone are the days of me having to pause record on the damn tape player, try to get my mixtapes from the radio, you know, pause, record. It's like I got CDs now. Like I'm on another level. That opened the door for me to like the whole nother world. And who would have known that like I actually became like I don't want to say obsessed with music,
Mhm.
but I was obsessed with like CDs. Like I went on from there to just buy CDs like crazy. Once I got my hands on my first CDs, like my first 2 jobs as like in high school, all my money went to Best Buy, or when I was in Detroit, Media Play, to get whatever. I would literally go in with my paycheck and go buy like 10 CDs. And so I had like this huge, massive collection of CDs. But it all started with those first 2, the Blackstreet and the 112 CDs. I think they were both self-titled. I think it was just 112 and just
112.
Blackstreet.
Okay.
And that's the one that had the 112 CDs, the one that had Cupid on it,
Mm.
and the song with Biggie, Only You.
Mm-hmm.
Man, yeah, that was a good CD. That was number 3 for me. What you got?
Before I get to that, isn't it wild how that stuff starts? Like the amount of CDs you had, like thinking about that collection and then where it comes from.
Yeah, where like when you think back to like the when was the genesis of this? What's the first thing? What's the first one? And when you go all the way back, it's like I remember getting those CDs on Christmas Day and being like I might have got some games that year. I know I got some shit, but I was like nothing topped the fact that I just got my hands on my own CDs. And then once I got them in my hand, it was like I need more.
Yeah.
I need more. And I blew so much money on CDs. Like I had like 200-300 CDs. And then this is back when you had to buy the album and it would be like one track on it that's hot and a bunch of trash. So I had all these freaking CDs that had like 1 or 2 songs on them that I liked. But it didn't matter because I had this massive collection and the collection was more important than any one CD that I had.
I wish that I was in that era because later on is when I started buying the novelty ones. Like you get the albums that are like, oh, here's a poster. Or there's like a DVD with it or something crazy. And I see them in like thrift shops and stuff like that all the time. So I wish I had gotten CDs during Christmas.
I was like in the 70s, people would have like crates of albums.
Yep.
That was me. But I had like just tons of CDs. And then I became a karaoke DJ, and all those CDs came in handy.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
For number 3 for me, it's another like event, but it was my first time spending Christmas in Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah, my dad's sister lives in Atlanta, near Stone Mountain. So I had never spent Christmas anywhere else before up to that point in time. So it made me realize that there were other cities outside of New York that suck. But it was cool, like actually being able to spend time with like that half of the family for the first time. I was used to the same people at home in New York City, and my parents are from the island, so all the island people come over and have a big party there and stuff. But it was cool, like actually being like in more of a kind of standard suburbia kind of Christmas.
Yeah.
That was really cool to me. It was like a completely different experience, and I still remember that being like my first like extension outside of New York. So now that like I live here, it's like, oh wow, it all started from there.
Got you.
Like at Christmas was my first time actually seeing the rest of this country, and we drove to Georgia. We didn't take a plane, so it was like
In the snow?
Oh yeah.
Oh, fuck that. Through Pennsylvania, like the mountains and shit?
So yeah, we went from New York through New Jersey, through the Carolinas.
Oh.
Yeah.
Through Virginia, the Carolinas.
Yeah, we took 95 all the way down. Yeah.
What part of Georgia?
Atlanta.
Okay, so yeah, you took 95 down and probably hopped over on 20.
On 20, yeah.
Yeah. You can tell I've traveled that way too much. Way too much. Okay. I should have probably done this at the beginning, but I'm going to throw an honorable mention out there and then get to number 2 and number 1. My honorable mention is 1999, Christmas 1999. I was a freshman in college, and it was the last time that I would be in Detroit until 2019. So like for 20 years, I didn't go back to Detroit. And we had Christmas there, and I remember it snowing like a motherfucker. But the highlight, because my whole family's from there on my mom's side. My whole family's from Detroit. So getting to be with all of them was dope. But the highlight of that trip was my granny, because my granny was wild. And the song Back That Ass Up was still hot at the time. And I remember us being at my Aunt Barbara's house. Not that I have 2 Aunt Barbaras, not the one that had the tree fall on her. Okay. But big Aunt Barbara, the older one, my great aunt. We're at her crib, and I think we were playing spades or something in the dining room. And Back That Ass Up came on. And I remember Granny lifting up her nightgown and backing it up. But Granny didn't have drawers on. And Granny was in the kitchen going, back that ass up, back that ass up, back that ass. She really liked that song. And everybody was like, oh shit, no, put your It was like she had a wolf in a triangle choke. It was like, oh. That wolf is on his last leg. It's finna oh shit. It was rough. It was rough.
Oh man.
It was
rehash that for yourself.
Yeah. But I just remember, like, man, I love my granny so much. And that moment was everything. It was like that encapsulated Granny so much, because it went from us playing spades or whatever, and then that song coming on, and out of nowhere, Granny just getting up and going, back that ass up, back that ass up. And oh, that shit was too funny. Number 2 for me, that was my honorable mention. Number 2 for me, though, Hero Quest / Tornado Rex. Hero Quest. I got Hero Quest for Christmas one year. And this is like when I was coming up in the 90s, they like board games were still like evolving and pretty cool, right? Yep. And there were all these commercials and stuff for like Tornado Rex and Mousetrap and all these games. And then there was a commercial for Hero Quest. And it could seem completely different than all the other games. And I got Tornado Rex, and I love Tornado Rex. I got them both the same Christmas. And Tornado Rex was like this game where you have like to roll the dice and you have to try to get up this mountain. But if you land on a certain square, at the top of this mountain, there's a like a Tasmanian devil type thing where you push the button on the top of this cave and it shoots out the Tornado Rex, and it comes down the mountain. And if it knocks your piece off, then you got to go back to the beginning. And I remember how dope that game was. But then getting Hero Quest and that being something completely different, and that kind of really opened my eyes to what board games can be. you know, because it's basically a lower brand Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
But for me, it was everything. It was, I mean, being able to sit in my drive. I can't tell you countless hours of sitting in my driveway playing Hero Quest with friends, and then people kind of getting bored with it, and then sitting by myself in my room and then playing Dungeon Master and playing the heroes, you know, playing through the campaign by myself. Man, like that, if it wasn't for that game, who knows if we'd be playing board games on this show once a month.
Right.
You know, like that game opened my eyes and like changed my perspective of board games and like how you can have fun with friends. It doesn't have to be Madden every fucking day. We can do some other stuff.
Right.
And that game like was revolutionary to my preteen mind, I guess. A preteen going into teenage years. I was probably like 11 when I got it. So, you know, and nobody in my family would play with me, which is why I played by myself, because everybody's like, what the fuck is this game? Yeah, orcs and goblins. Nah, we ain't playing that shit. Go get sorry. So, what is this shit? No, we ain't. No, you telling a story? Fuck out of here. Go get Monopoly. I'll tell you a story about how I just bankrupt you on fucking Park Place. Let's tell that story. So no, that was huge for me. Hero Quest is like my number 2 Christmas thing.
Hero Quest, I think now retails for like $125 if you wanted to get like an original box of the game.
Nigga, what?
Yeah, I think like when you look it up, it's like $125 for like an original Hero Quest box.
Oh, I might have to go talk to my mama and see if I can find the old game. Maybe that's still at the house somewhere. Cause yeah, I mean, cause it's still in good condition. I ain't fuck it up or nothing. But 125.
I think when I had looked at it last, it was like 125.
Really? Okay.
I don't know. I haven't checked eBay, and I'm sure it's probably more on there.
Really? Well,
yeah,
let me go find my game. I need to make a quick bill right fast.
A lot of those old games, it's kind of that time period where everyone's like buying, like the value of those things have gone up so much.
See,
like,
I'm trying to tell y'all.
Look at Pokemon cards now. Like people trade, and well, not really trade, like card opening on like Twitch and stuff. People make so much money doing that.
No
and
shit.
Then selling the rare cards, like people make a couple $100 doing that now.
And here I am with like 3 binders full of baseball and basketball and football cards. You telling me that I should have been getting Pokemon cards if I wanted to make some money?
I still think that those cards are valuable too, though. You should look that up.
Oh, most of my cards are shit. The one card that I have that was actually worth something, I fucked up.
Oh no.
It was a Deion Sanders rookie card. And I wanted to preserve it forever. I wanted it to stay in mint condition. So I laminated it. Yeah. and then I found out like very shortly after that by laminating it, I've completely devalued it.
Got all the value.
Yeah. And I was like, well, I just wanted to make sure it would never get messed up. Well, now you'll never get paid for it. Yep. So I think I have a Shaq rookie card too. I have a few. I have a few good cards. And I have every single WCW trading card.
Really?
I was dumb and I bought the box of cards because in my mind I'm thinking, hell yeah, I got the box and I got all the cards, and I didn't realize they only had a limited number of cards. So like by buying the box, I ended up with like 10 copies of like a bunch of cards. There's only there's very few of them that like are less than 5 cards.
Yeah.
So I have like a whole page of nothing but one Sting card, and then flip the page and it's a whole page of nothing but another Sting card. Like it was, but I have every single WCW card. It only cost me $10. I was like, $10 for a box of cards? Oh, this is going to be so amazing. And I was like, oh, this is 30 pages in my fucking book taken up, and it's a lot of repeats.
You should check the value on some of those cards.
They ain't worth shit. They ain't worth shit. I already know. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is less than not really a gift, but more of a thing. Just candy canes in general.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know how you have the typical peppermint candy cane, right? Like generic.
Uh-huh.
But my parents would always buy like the fancy ass ones, like the Jolly Rancher ones.
Oh, you came up fucking bougie.
Dude, that's what I was saying. I was like, remember picking it off the tree and they're like, why the fuck is this one blue? What's going on here?
Nice.
You know? And it's just the memory of that. It's like, wow, I don't know how I don't have any cavities like at all, especially that period of time. I ate like 10 like on Christmas Day of those things. Like,
Oh, you ate your weight in candy
dude,
canes?
I fucked it up. Like, that tree had no more candy canes on it. Like,
Oh shit! It's like, who ate all the candy canes? It's just you, a
Exactly.
blue mouth and
Yep.
sticky fingers,
sticky fingers, dilated eyes.
just tweaking over there. Just
Because I
not
didn't
me.
know at that period of time that was the thing. I thought the only options you had were the red regular ones, the peppermint ones. Then you had the green ones that
Mhm.
were like a different kind of mint. Was
Mhm.
a spearmint or something?
Yep.
Yeah, and I thought that was your only two options. But then my parents bust out this like array of colors, and I'm like, these can't be real.
Oh man. All right. Number one.
Mhm.
That's actually really good. Number one for me. Because it changed what Christmas means to me.
Mhm.
Like straight up, fundamentally, Christmas has not been the same since Christmas Day 2015 when my son Alonzo was born.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's the gift that keeps on taking, but he's having him born on Christmas Day, like you couldn't ask for a better gift. Like that 100% changed everything. Because now every year I have to hear as soon as like I don't want to hear any Christmas music in November. In fact, I'd prefer to not hear any Christmas music until December 15th, because the first time he hears Christmas music, he knows his birthday is coming. And all you hear about until Christmas is, I can't wait for my Christmas birthday. And all I can think about is, fuck. fuck. But no, that was the story of my son's birth is it's a good story, man. My wife was in labor for 36 hours, almost 40 hours. Water broke 2 a.m. on Christmas Eve. We went to the hospital at noon on Christmas Eve, and my son was born at 10:54 p.m. Christmas Day.
Wow.
So Christmas night. And when he came, here's the thing, like low key, I was like, yo, can we get this baby out? Because I brought the presents up here to the hospital. Like I was ready to open presents and stuff. But he was the best present. Like I'm thankful for my son. He's taught me a lot, and I can never enjoy Christmas the same again. Thank you, Alonzo. I appreciate that. Love you, son.
Oh, no, I can't top that. No, I can't.
I'm sure you can. It's not that hard. What do you got for number one?
Number one is kind of generic, but it's in general being very lucky that every Christmas up until recent adult life, I've been able to spend it with my family.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, every single Christmas, my mom, my dad, my brother, and I've been able to spend Christmas with them.
What are you guys doing this year for Christmas?
Kind of nothing really. Like, I think we're planning to just meet up later on, like maybe mid-January or something.
Okay.
But it's just everyone's busy right now, doing some other stuff. But yeah, up until like the last maybe 3 years, I've been able to spend Christmas with them. And that's I realized actually like a week ago that I am very lucky that I've been able to have that.
That is beautiful, because I until my son was born, I didn't really spend Christmas with my family for like a decade, just because of work.
Yep.
You know, I was working at FedEx forever, and it was like I literally got the day off, and then had to be at work. So I had to work Christmas Eve. I had to work the day after Christmas, so I was never able to go for 11 years. I wasn't able to leave town and go be with my family, and so it wasn't until Alonzo was born and then I quit working at FedEx that I was able to get out and like start doing stuff. Like, you know, we're leaving on the 20th. So I guess as you guys are watching this, I'll be in LA hanging out with my brother-in-law, hanging out with Abe, who was on the show a couple months ago. And shout out to Abe Brown. He was on the show. He's had some health difficulties lately. So, you know, shout out to Abe. Hopefully by the time you see this, you're better. And keep fighting, bro. You're going to be all right. You'll make it through this. But we're going to go out there and and do the California Christmas thing. So basically it's going to be Die Hard. I'm going to go to Nakatomi Plaza. And here's the thing, like from his old place, you could see Nakatomi Plaza
Really?
from his old apartment. You just go up to the roof of his building and he's like, as soon as you walk out the door on the roof, like Nakatomi Plaza was like in the horizon.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
Die Hard.
So I was like, oh shit. So if I don't come back, just know I was John McClane.
Okay.
I was not Hans Gruber. So I think going forward for me for Christmas, that's kind of our thing. Is we're now looking towards Christmas on the road, giving experiences over presents and stuff.
I like that a lot.
That's where we're at.
Super cool.
That's where we're at. So last year we went to South Carolina and we spent it with my dad. This year we're going to Los Angeles. We're going to hang out with Abe and meet my nephew Aiden and all of that. I think that for the foreseeable future, as long as we're able to do it, that's the thing we're going to do. We're going to travel and take the kids out to see different things for Christmas and really just have a good family time. They'll probably have more memories than gifts. So when they do their top fives, when they have their own podcast, the purple and pink podcast or whatever, whenever they do that, they'll have more memories than toys or gifts. Hopefully they're all good. And hopefully your memories are all good this year too, guys. Merry Christmas to you guys. Happy holidays. G, thank you for jumping in and sharing your holiday stories.
Thanks for having me.
And you guys, if you want to share your holiday stories, feel free to drop them in the comments, or you can hit us up on any of the social medias with your holiday stories. On Instagram, we are at Podcast The Gray Area, Twitter, Podcast Gray Area, Facebook, The Gray Area Podcast. You can hit me up, _ Aaron Cheatham on both Twitter and Instagram. And let's hear your holiday stories. What made the season for you? What are your top memories, your top gifts? And if you think that any of ours are lame, first of all, Hero Quest is not lame. Fuck you. It's a great game. It's fucking great. But don't come at me about 112 Blackstreet or Hero Quest. And don't come at G about a train, because that shit probably did suck. And if you were on that train and you were a kid, you were shitty. With that being said, G, do you have anything that you like? Thank you. This is G's first time you can hear him actually on the show. Do you have anything you'd like to say to the people?
Have a happy holidays and eat some Jolly Rancher candy canes.
Rot your teeth out, people. Until next time, here's mud in your eyes. Peace.
Thanks for listening. You can find more episodes and all of our other Hot Pie Media originals baked fresh daily at our home online at hotpiemedia.com, the Hot Pie Media YouTube channel, or wherever you listen to podcasts.